Welcome back to Bedroom Convos. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, Dead Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Welcome back to another episode, man, where we are introducing a new segment called Hit or Miss, the Cultural Report. So we'll be covering all things music, we'll be covering movies. I know we do have the Monday movie review, so we'll be covering everything as far as like content creators, music, everything that has to do with culture, food, whatever you may. And you can also like recommend some of the things that you think we need to cover on this segment. So today we were supposed to cover Birimarung by Uji Masheho and Ego Slim Flow and Mr. Balado featuring vocalistic DJ Maporisa and Scott Mapuma. Shout out to Scott Mapuma. He's doing the most. He had an incredible year. So we're going to talk about, for instance, the music Birimarung, we were supposed to be doing it. If it's a hit or a miss, this is the cultural report, right? So the segment is broken down seven categories, if I may. It's broken down into seven categories. The first one being the marketing rollout, the second being the production quality, the third being originality and creativity within the project, right? So the cultural impact and marketing performance will be looking at playlist performance, the streaming and the sales metric, like the sales like the reason people are releasing they're releasing music on Friday. It's because they get to like have the entire week to see how the song goes specifically. Like if you release a song on a Tuesday, then you get your report on Friday of how your song did within that week. So they count the week from Friday to Friday. So it's Friday to Friday. So if you release the song on Wednesday, your report is going to be you're going to get your report basically on that upcoming Friday. If it's a Wednesday, you'll get it Friday. So people prefer to release, or labels rather, prefer to release on Friday. So they do have like the full week to do the marketing and don't. So the first week sales are up there. So yeah, that's the reason there is New Music Friday and right. So content like the streaming and the sales matrix, it's because of that. So Monday is what you call this Friday. What you call? I just spoke about it now. A Friday, New Music Friday. That's why they do have like Spotify. I know Spotify has New Music Friday. That's why a lot of artists like they sit literally even the song that Momo was supposed to release. I don't know if it's Momo or Sticks released an EP today. So I don't know if it was supposed to be Sticks releasing it or Momo, but I saw a lot of people were saying Momo was supposed to be releasing the song, right? It wasn't Sticks song, it was Momo's song. So probably December when Momo is releasing his album, the song is going to be there. It should be a lead single in my opinion. So yeah, that's the marketing performances, playlist placement. So if you go to Spotify, you'll see that in Spotify there's those playlists that people have curated within Spotify, right? So there is your like the playlists that are like certified, like the playlist that like the hip hop hour, like there's those playlists that you need to be where everybody is listening to that particular playlist in the same order. You get what I mean? So like the playlist placement in Dondoni, the Spotify in Dondoni within the playlist, and those playlists, some of them are owned by record labels, some of them are content creators or playlist creators that work with record labels or A&Rs or whatever the case may be. They do work with labels. That's why you see sometimes you would see some of the people, they do have like the playlist placement whenever they release the music. Like within Monga and Spotify, you find Uguti they are the cover of like the podcast or chart of the month. It's because of like the playlist placement, right? So yeah, that is covered. So on number six, we have overall vibe and cohesion. So on overall vibe and cohesion, will be focusing on consistency of the theme and aesthetic, emotional resonance, replay value, and will be obviously giving out like the ranking out of a 10 on like these like subcategories that I just mentioned right now. On number seven, we have the final score, the hype verdict. So like everything combined will tell us Uguti, either the song was a hit or a miss, or we still need to give it a listen, because sometimes I think with some of the songs you might think it's a miss, but you have to listen to it over and over so it grows into you. Then you like, and some people they do have like the ear. This song has potential, man. It just needs a bit of a push for it to get to a particular place. So we are going to talk about that and the reason why some of the songs, and hopefully you'll see with you why some of the songs make it and why some of the songs don't make it to play Spotify placement, especially if you're an indie artist, you're not signed under any record label, you didn't sign any distro deal, distribution deal with any label, so it's harder for you to get to like all these to get a playlist placement. There are platforms that you can go to get placement from the playlist curators. I think Playlist Push is one of those platforms where indie artists are going. So they pay, obviously they pay. Those guys give them a review. Then if the song is good enough, they put it in the playlist, right? So there is that for indie artists, but it's not as impactful as having like the platform in like Spotify, right? So like in under marketing rollout will cover visibility, creativity, consistency, and it will give those subcategories a rating out of five. Production quality, the sound and visual quality, the execution of the concept. Did they or were they able to execute on the concept and stay consistent? Throughout the visuals specifically and the sound, So even the innovation is something we've heard before. I think when we speak about innovation, right? So Mtandayo is a song that I'm currently listening to. Amazing song. I love the song. So it's the flow. You can tell like the flow is something you've heard before, but the cadence that they used within the song. I don't know if it's the cadence, but the cadence that they've used in the song, it emulates another song or like it's sampled another song. Not really sample because if I say sample, it's a copyright infringement. So maybe sample is not the correct way to use in this instance. But all I'm saying, Guti, they followed the same pattern. It's not the same, but it's the same. Like and so there is no like I think that's a loop that you can use or a lot of artists are using not to pay like as a strategy of not paying for the sample or copyright and don't. I think that's the loop that they're using. I think as far as innovation, I'll give it like me specifically the song that I'm talking about, Mtanda. I think I'll give it out of a 10, I'll give it a 6 or 7. It's a nice song. The message is beautiful, even though it still follows the guideline of song. I don't know. I don't remember what song it is, but I know this is a song. If you do know the song, please do let me know in the comment section what the name of the song is. Then I'll come back and let everybody know what the song is. Please do not forget to follow, like, and subscribe to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, Data Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Friday. Have yourself an amazing one. Cheers.